Megaraptor, a terrifying creature of the night, with 14-inch claws that could pierce the strongest of armors and could have you bleeding out in seconds. Join the adventure of Blackkin, an adult Mape, as he and his offspring face the challenges of Gondwa to get a chance to experience adulthood, if they can survive. Or will we end up how we came into this world, alone? But to see that, we must go back to the beginning of Blackkin's adult chapter. Welcome to More to the Lore. With spawning in as a solo Mape, being in Great Plains wasn't the ideal spot. So the plan for now is to lay low, get some water, and possibly start a family. I'm not sure for many people who know this, but if you are in a pack or if you just don't want to really make any low audible sounds in chat, like when you're typing in chat, just pick up an item. I'm sure people know this, obviously, but if you don't, for those who don't, just pick up an item, and when you carry it around and you type in chat, you won't make any calls, so you'll be quiet. And it's nothing crazy, but it definitely helps when you're trying to kind of stalk prey and keep quiet. Not much activity going on in here. Water's at 92%. I like to check the water quality before I go into an area, just to kind of get a sense of what the activity is like. If you walk in the Green Valley and it's like at 32%, your eyes kind of go, because you're like, oh, well, somebody's here. There's an apex here. There's a group here. There's a herd here. And if you play on officials and you're into a herd, it's RIP for that, Just gonna set this wall up. Let me carry a bone so it looks a bit more menacing. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, well, we're just gonna head to our nest, and GP looks empty right now, and we're not hungry. And if we get hungry, we can eat some bones. We'll probably head back to our nest. Maybe try to dress it up a bit more. Hopefully, be able to get a baby and possibly start a family. If not, this Mape will be solo dolo for once more. And if you guys want to know my build, this is my build right here. I don't really play Mape. This is kind of my first time. I'm gonna switch to I'm using Scab just simply because but I don't really play Mape. This is kind of like my first lifetime. This is my first life cycle with this Mape, actually, with the Mape. So that's another thing, is he's full grown. So that's good, but just claws, long claws, just kind of to bleed. Obviously I'm alone. I use this right here because it's kind of nice when you're hunting and letting them bleed out, and I feel like I use my tail attack more than this attack, because the tail attack is more practical. Obviously the bleed is what I use, obviously, but I mean, like, it's more practical when I'm kind of like in a fight, because like if they're terrorizing me, I can just like and it's just the way I got my keybind. They're all, it's preference, I know that. I'm gonna just carry on. Oh my days. After finally arriving to my nest, just getting by 2 full-grown gigas who didn't see me as a meal, I guess, I was able to finally come tend to the nest. Let's hope that they are not. After discovering that my nest was in fact partially destroyed, who destroyed my nest? It was probably time to reconstruct it and possibly design it. I am no designer by any means, or no nest constructor by any means, so please forgive me. But I wanted this experience to be shared, as this was Blackkin's first nest. So, enjoy. I'll speed this part up. I feel like I heard somebody sit down. Finally, the nest is complete. Look at my nest in all its glory. Now, the next step is probably to get some hatchlings up in this bitch. Pardon my language. That was the plan. But unfortunately for me, there was a sneaky Quetz flying around, probably looking to pick off one of my hatchlings once they got there. I couldn't let that slide. I don't know what's more annoying, the fact that I missed my first hatchling's hatch, or the fact that this pesky Quetz was never gonna fight me from the jump. Every time he got in danger, he fled. If you wanted one of my hatchlings, come take them. I dare you. But that wasn't the case. As more hatchlings begin to come, I decide that it's time to just abandon the Quetz and to go tend to my hatchlings. I am a single father of 3 baby MAIPS. Blackkin will do his best at trying to be a father. Shortly after all hatchlings joined the group, I soon realized that there's been one crucial mistake that was made. I forgot to put food into the nest. With my hunger growing more and more, the only option for me now was to fight the Quetz, and that could go 50-50. Either the Quetz would stay and challenge me, or he'd fly away. I'll let you guys be the judge of what will happen. And there you have it. The Quetz flew away. Did you guess that correctly? I mean, what else would the Quetz possibly do? With their food seamlessly flying away, and the opportunity to provide for my family, the situation definitely grows more dire. Pesky Quetz. Cat's little babies are good. As food seemed to be getting more scarce, the idea of leaving the babies at the nest and going to find food elsewhere came across my mind. I figured they'd be safe here. There's plenty of grass, plenty of reeds, plenty of branches to hide behind. They should be safe here. Now, some sort of gut feeling told me not to leave my nest, because the very next morning, large theropod footsteps were coming directly towards us. The only thing that crossed my mind was the hatchlings. I have to protect them at all costs. No matter what comes up that mountain, I have to fight it. Considering that our food situation wasn't getting any better, we needed this. Allosaurus, the lion of the Jurassic. A fierce creature. This will be no easy fight. Considering that we both are bleed builds, this would be a very interesting battle. But I have one thing on my side, and that's the rage of a parent. The plan? Claw this man. Bleed him dry. Keep him moving. Don't let him let up. As his hatchlings watched defenseless, Blackkin knew that he had to keep applying pressure. I had tons of bleed, I just had to make sure I keep chasing him, making him run, keep him moving. Don't let him get behind me, don't let him tail ride. Luckily, this Allosaurus didn't seem that experienced with this kind of combat. Blackkin is very experienced. This is not his first rodeo, and this time, he's defending his children. So I just knew we had to make it out here alive. I had to supply a meal. And that is why you do not mess with a MAIP protecting his hatchlings. GG's, Allosaurus. Your sacrifice will not go down in vain. With food secured for me and my hatchlings, I knew we had to eat fast because this is Gondwa. It's not a very generous place. It doesn't respect us. It doesn't play fair with us. So you make sure you eat your meal fast. You heal as quick as you can, because there could be dangers lurking in every corner, looking to capitalize off your opportunities, off of your hard work. And of course, not only does the Quetz come back, two full-grown Yangs decide that, hey, we want that meal that you worked so hard for. Now, we know a solo MAIP is no match for two full-grown Yangs, so me and the children have to book it out of here. Do you hear those footsteps? Yeah. That's two full-grown Gigas also coming up to this. I have never seen Wilderness Peak this active. It's time to abandon ship. Me and the children have to get out of here. This is no longer our home. With being forced to move from our home, we decided to go to Triad Falls to quest there to get our juveniles to adolescent. With our juveniles becoming juveniles, they decided that they could hunt each other for a little bit. Even with the full-grown Pygno across the waters, possibly looking at us for a meal. They said, doesn't matter, I can fight now. Make sure that this person does not mess with my children. Can't they be doing that, mate? Savers. That just like nesting sometimes. Creating a little family. We got a family tree. Look at that. So cool. And they're just... Stop biting your damn brother, dude. Or sister, whatever little Sook is. With crossing the river, and our juveniles still wanting to hunt each other, even taking a nibble at me, we decided that it was time to probably finish questing in Triad Falls and then find a different area to quest around to possibly get our babies to full grown. And if you played Path of Titans, you know that the alpha critters are probably the most annoying things to ever deal with during the game, especially if you're a juvenile trying to grow. So I decided to take this apex critter out, and actually started taking me out. Luckily, a baby spoon was our protector today. That baby spoon would follow us for maybe an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes after this. But I just decided to include this because, well, baby spoons are cute. With one of the hatchlings having to get off, it was now down to just me and two other baby MAIPS. Nobody said being a parent was this hard. With questing being done in Young Grove, we had to move on to a different area. I decided the area would be Darkwoods, since it was the closest. We were just going to cross this really big river to get there. And you might be asking yourself, why not just use the land bridge? It's literally over there. I think we both asked that question after we decided to cross. Because I almost lost both my children during the Great Crossing event. With almost losing both my adolescents to the water off of my decision, I decided we probably should move on, continue questing, and forget this ever happened. I'll definitely be using that land bridge next time, though. Now, with both my MAIPS being adolescent, they decided it was time to test their abilities, see how strong they've gotten. After we finished questing in Titan's Pass, they decided to have a little spar session.
I'm over here starving.
Now, I feel like if we played Path of Titans, we kind of understand that this area seems to be heavily trafficked. So why would my two crazy children decide to battle in the middle of this area? It's like they had a death wish.
Hell yeah, B-Raps. Nothing against my boy Orca, though. It's my other son. You know, he's cool. Really cool. Ooh, got a nice kind of bark. Now that's a grown man roar right there, Orca. That's what I'm talking about. Sorry, just get hype for my children and make me proud, man. They've come so far. Yeah, I had to get up. I was like, yo, my children about to kill each other. Spar. I might have some psychos on my little family tree, dude. Alright, let's head up here.
Now, nothing could have prepared me for what's about to happen. Honestly, I thought this was going to be an easy meal. I saw a lime green Packy in the distance. Immediately shot for it. But what that Packy didn't tell me is he was out for blood today. And as he sat there, just immediately decimated my children, I sat there and watched in horror. As one of my children went down, me partially probably responsible for that. We're not going to talk about that. I watched my other go down. And just as easy as they came into this world, they came out.
Travity just struck. Why was Barb just laying there? Well, my children got murdered. Had to eat my children's corpse. It's very heartbreaking to do. But you need to survive. I didn't kill them. A little green booger killed them. I might have killed Barb. If we play it back, I might have probably killed Barb. Barb! Bro, Barb was probably the better child. I hope they don't watch this video. Was the better fighter, dog. Orca. He was just a big chonky boy. But he was my son. What the heck? Okay, we're gonna pretend my children did not die by a little green booger.
Luckily on this server, you come back to life, and you don't lose that much growth considering that they were so small. So, they just waste shard me back at Savannah. With the server restart approaching, we decided the best course of action would probably be lay low, quest around. Possibly nothing could happen since the server restarted so soon. Plus, the only predators in the area seemed to be occupied with each other, which was a Cerrado versus a Suco. Yeah, we'll be okay.
I guess that Sarah was something that... Kiss me like a sailor. I see a fish down there. If you like to be alive. You know what to say about the young. Oh, got a stab.
Let's get some stam back. How did little old me birth an all black demon? Look at him. I hope he lives up to his skin.
I love the melanistic skin on the MAIPS. It looks so menacing. I'm proud, David. We got him to adult. Not full grown, but he's in adulthood. He's a young adult. It's good enough. Dun-dun.
With one of the MAIPS hitting sub-adult, we decided it was right for us to take him to his first hunt. With our hunger growing and this 30-foot lizard needing something to be in his belly, we decided to take it to Great Plains where we could stalk and find our next meal. The only problem is, everything in Great Plains sounded very, very large. An appa? That's not gonna do. We have to find something else. With our hunger growing dire, needing food immediately, knowing the Quetz was gonna flee, we decided, screw it. We're taking on the big game. We went straight for the duck. One of the children said they had a plan, but I had a plan. Attack. Bleed this sucker dry. A duck is slow. Bleed him and then just run away. That was how the plan started. And honestly, it was going well. With one of the MAIPS getting stuck, Blackkin's instincts took over. As one of his children was on the brink of death, he used a ton of energy to get over there to save him. Unfortunately for us, that cost us to be at a disadvantage the rest of the fight, and for the duck, this is exactly where the tide turns, and where the fight does not look to be in our favor.
duck trapping me in a corner and overpowering me, seeming that it was way too much for us to handle, I decided it was time to get out of there. Time to surrender. As if this fight was too much. But remember when I said that one of the MAIPS had a mind of their own? Well, they took things into their own hands. Unfortunately, that meant its death. Poor baby MAIP. Not everybody gets to make it to adulthood in Gondwa. Gondwa is unfair to a lot of us. It's a very harsh reality that we have to deal with sometimes. Fortunately for Blackkin, he lives on, with successfully raising one baby MAIP to adulthood. I call that a success. Although it doesn't change the fact that he grows hungry and has to eat. This is a 30-foot lizard we're talking about. And what easier prey could there be than a land dino? And if you guys have ever seen a meta video, you know you gotta do it for. Go straight for him. Attack. I was hungry. Fortunately for this pesky dino, he got into the water. And as he swam to the other side of the riverbank, I knew that he wanted no part of this fight. And this is GPR we're talking about, so it's best if I just get away from the river. Another failed hunt. Attempt number 2. Of course, I'm growing hungrier by the second. And this dime looks very delicious. If it just wasn't so dang fast. Run away, little dime. Run away. I'll catch you soon yet. Or probably not. And just when all hope was lost, there it was. The most free meal I've ever seen. The most free meal to ever come across my life. A Utah just sitting down in front of a bush. I don't know what it was expecting. But now, it can expect to be ate. Success. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to give it a like. I really enjoyed making this type of content, and I look forward to doing more like it. See ya.